I think it's very weird to have a conversation with someone and they're like, and I'm a PhD and I ran the Boston Marathon and blah, blah, and you're just like,
You're like, okay, next.
Right? On today's After the Show, we are talking about etiquette. So when we saw this New York Post article, we're like, we got to talk to Brian Gluckstein about this. You want to know why?
Why?
You're very polite, classy, and like inclusively nice to people. So, and I've seen you work a room. And you are able to like have conversations with people and keep the conversation moving. All the things you want to know how to do in life. And a lot of us have forgotten how to do this stuff after 3 years of pandemic. Or maybe never knew. Or maybe never knew. So the New York Post has this really long article of all the things you should be doing in polite society. I don't agree with all the stuff, but I'm going to go through a few of these scenarios with you.
Tell me.
Listening is not the time for you to silently rehearse what you're about to say next. So let's say we're having a conversation. You're listening. You're not supposed to be thinking about how you're going to respond because the person can actually see your eyes glazing over. Do you agree with this?
Yes, and I have been, even in interviews, where I'm answering a question and the interviewer is not paying attention. I can see they're thinking about the next question, and it doesn't lead to a natural conversation. Just feed off of what I'm saying. Maybe the question changes. Right. Just have a conversation. Yes. And yes, don't think about it. If you're at a cocktail party, don't think, okay, what am I going to ask this person next?
Have you ever been at a party and you see the person and their eyes are going over your shoulder like
they're
looking for someone better to talk to?
I know. Those are the people I just don't give any time to.
It's so rude.
I can't stand people that think, it's like dating.
Yeah.
They're dating you, but they're thinking, is there someone better that I could be dating? It's sort of like that.
It totally is.
Yeah.
Okay. They say avoid vague and cliche euphemisms for your privilege. So saying we're comfortable. They say leave that in the 90s.
I don't even know how that would come up in a conversation.
Well, if it did come up in a conversation, I actually disagree. They say be forthright or say nothing. What do you mean be forthright? Say I'm stinking rich?
Yeah, you don't say anything like that.
So do you agree with if it ever came up, like kicking and screaming, it comes up in a conversation, how do you feel about saying, well, we're comfortable?
Yeah, that's what you would say. I can't imagine discussing my financial situation with anybody.
So that in itself is kind of rude, eh?
Very rude.
Okay,
rude.
All right.
The only time I would talk about financial situation if you were, getting together with a friend that was in trouble and you wanted to help them. That's the time to say, okay, what do you need? What's going on? Let me help you. Otherwise, do not discuss your finances.
Money talk still off the table.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay, I'm with you there.
Because we should all be equal. Like, who cares if someone has more money or less money?
Yeah.
Why would you put that barrier up?
Yeah.
Of that there, just...
Well, this next one actually has to do with that. So another tip they say is never be impressed. This is kind of weird. Don't be impressed by anyone. You might assume I'm saying you should hold yourself in such high regard that no one else would ever impress you. That's not it. They say do not be impressed with people because we are impressed about the wrong things. We're impressed by degrees, professional accomplishments, physical beauty. We're impressed by fame. None of these things foster a lasting human connection. They're saying when you are being impressed by someone, developing affection for someone makes you more human. Being impressed by someone makes you less.
Wrong.
Wrong. You disagree.
I'm very impressed by people's accomplishments.
Right.
So if I find someone has done something, created a business, gotten a degree, done a marathon, which I cannot do, I'm very impressed with people's accomplishments.
And nothing wrong with that.
It doesn't mean that we can't relate to each other, but you should be impressed because you should acknowledge the success of somebody, that they've accomplished something.
I think it's very weird to have a conversation with someone and they're like, and I'm a PhD and I ran the Boston Marathon and blah, blah, and you're just like,
You're like, okay, next.
Right?
Yeah, no.
I feel like that's weird too. Okay, don't tell people they look like other people. Has anyone ever come up to you and said like, oh my gosh, you know who you look like? I don't like to play that game, but what do you feel about that?
Well, I probably wouldn't say they look like somebody, unless that person was so gorgeous and made them feel good.
Right, but how do you know? Because beauty's subjective.
Well, we talked about this before, about that sort of topic. Yeah, someone might say, ooh, you think I look like them?
Right? Meanwhile, they're saying, oh my gosh, they're gorgeous, and you're like, oh no.
I don't think I ever say that.
No, you don't.
I don't think I would.
You don't.
I would never say that.
As I mentioned, you're the polite standard. I love that. Okay, when casually asked, how are you? They say always just say good. Never keep it real. What do you think of that?
Oh my God. Well, you don't want to bring the whole room down.
That's what they're saying.
So you have to know your audience because, you don't want to like, oh, burns the balloon.
Right.
But yeah, if you're with a friend and you say, I'm not doing great.
Yeah.
That's what your friends are there for, to say, oh, well, how can we change that? How can we... I mean, I don't think I'd stand at a cocktail party with a stranger and say, not good.
It's been awful.
Then there's this like pause where they're like, what is that? But no, if you're with your friends, we talk about mental health all the time. We have to share that.
You got to be real.
And when we're down and with our friends. Beautiful. But you have to know who your audience is and who's going to help really be there to listen to it and help you with it.
I'm going to do one last one with you. Okay, you're at a cocktail party. There's a bunch of people around.
I hate cocktail
Someone comes,
parties.
but you're good at them. So someone comes up to you and they want to have a conversation with you and they're saying things you don't like. They're boring you to tears. They say you're supposed to take the person, come on, Brian, and go to another group of people that are talking, get them ensconced, and get out.
I think I've done that.
They say
times.
don't say I've got to use the restroom,
well, I can't
or
leave
hold
the
on,
person's...
I've got to. So would you do that?
Yes.
And does it work?
Yes, because I can't just say, okay, I don't like the way this person's talking. I gotta get a drink. And they're saying they're all by themselves.
That's what I would do.
No, I usually like,
I gotta go to the
come
restroom
over here. But I think, oh my God, I'm leaving this person with them now.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I would never leave anybody just standing by themselves.
So you agree with that? I gotta work on that.
It's
okay,
hard.
These are good rules for being polite
We've got
in society.
a lot more we could do.
Oh, we have so many more, but we'll save that for another episode of After the Show.